someone speak on behalf of like why we're here. So she actually went to Freedom High School, and she's an alumni. So let's please give it up for Tara Robinson. We are very lucky to have her.
Woo! Go Tara!
How you guys doing tonight? Right. Do your legs hurt as much as mine do? I didn't even walk. I'm not a fan of walking. Just to let you know, I'd rather ride, drive something. I want to tell you guys, give you a fair warning. I may be short and sweet, but my speech isn't, so bear with me. I got a lot to say. First of all, I want to thank the girls from leadership. They put on a great walk. Yes, next year will be better. We'll definitely get it out there. It's a true honor to be out here with you guys, speaking with you guys. I am a former Freedom Falcon, class of 2006, baby. I graduated with a 3.25 GPA, and I'm very proud of that. All right, let me get down to business. So my whole life, I struggled with my identity. I didn't know who I was. I just knew I was different. I struggled with mental illness. People would pick on me. I didn't even understand why. It wasn't until I was 20 years old that I come to terms with myself. I was the first one to identify as a lesbian in my family. And boy, did everybody have an opinion about that. I got asked weird questions. They would say rude comments. Some even knew I was gay before I did. I was in denial. I was so closed-minded, scared to be me. I feared rejection. This world can be a hatred place sometimes. It sucked getting teased, getting called bad names, getting pushed around. I felt unloved and unwelcome. I heard so much negativity. My favorite one was, "You're too beautiful to be with a girl," or "It's just a phase." I even had one of my aunts, nose to nose, yelling at me about being gay. Like, what are you gonna do, yell it out of me? I wish. But coming out was one of the hardest things, one of the scariest moments of my life. But I knew I had to make a difference. I had to open up people's minds, let them know that we matter. We're human too. Nobody asked for this life. Trust me, I wouldn't have. But I paved the way for my younger generations. I made a difference in my family. Now they accept all of us now. One comment though that really stood out the most, my dad. He said, "Baby, I'm gonna love you even if you love a tree." He's always been my #1 supporter. But let me tell you about the person who affected me the most. The one who was so negative through it all. The one who just wouldn't accept it. That person was me. There was a little dark voice feeding me so many lies, telling me no one would accept me, no one would love me. I believed it. I hated me. I let depression take over, and that little dark voice consumed me. I started drinking when I was 15. I can't really see you guys. It's getting dark. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So my motto was always to drink till I blacked out and passed out. I drank like a fish, had to keep up with all my older cousins, but I was just trying to escape the pain. It actually made things worse. I started getting out of control. I could never remember anything the next day. I even woke up in the city by myself. Man, that was scary. I knew my limits, but I ignored them. I didn't care about life anymore. On March 9th, 2014, it was my boy's birthday, and he invited me for a boys' night out. Yeah, I get considered as one of the boys sometimes. I was so drunk, so lonely, so angry that night. That little dark voice was so overpowering. I tried to ignore it. I tried to dance it away. I even tried to drink it away, but it wasn't going away. So I listened to it. It made up this plan for me for when I got home. I was like, fluff it. That's it. I'm out of here. There's no turning back now. Most of the time, our plans, good or bad, they don't always work out the way we want. Little did I know, something bigger than me had a bigger plan for me. I got a second chance at life, you guys. I don't know why. I don't know how. But I knew there was a reason why I came back. My parents made me quit drinking, made me go to AA meetings, and I just celebrated my 3-year sobriety birthday in March. I I didn't do it alone, though. I made my mom quit with me. You rock, Mom. Thank you, thank you. So are you thinking my story's over? That I quit drinking and everything got better? I wish I could tell you that. The following year, March 22nd, 2015, one of the worst days of my life. I planned on watching movies with my dad that day, but my mom begged me to go to my cousin's birthday party with her. So here I am at this party, surrounded by alcohol. Mind you, I'm only 1 year sober at this point. One of my guy cousins was so drunk, acting a fool, and he thought I said something to him, but it wasn't even me. And he looked at me, and he literally looked at me in the eyes and said, well, he said something out of pocket. Called me out of my name. I was so tired of that mental abuse, so I took off on him. He didn't even know what was coming. I didn't either. I jumped on his back like a little spider monkey, one-hitter quitter, and he's on the ground. This part of my story, it always cracks me up. Let me reassure you, violence is never the answer. I wish I could have handled things differently that day, but my dad gave me permission to defend myself. He just never specified what to do. But for real, can you imagine my 5'0" fun-sized self beating up a 6'2" grown man? Yeah, neither can I. I wish they would have recorded it. I was so juiced to get home. I wanted to tell my dad that I dropped my cousin on the first punch. This was sweet victory for me. I had it all played out in my head. His reaction, his laugh, his words. He was going to say, "No way, baby, you rock. Always stick up for yourself." But here I go, planning again. When we got home, the silence echoed the walls. It was a weird feeling. We couldn't find my dad anywhere, but his car was out front. What's up, little man? What are you doing? You little cutie. So, we couldn't find my dad. He's okay. Aw, come back. It's okay. So we couldn't find my dad. So we called his friend, and he said he hadn't heard from him. So we started to panic. We opened every door in the house, but there was one door that wasn't so easy to open. So we broke the window, and I climbed through it, and I found my dad. It was too late. He took his own life. There was nothing I could do to save him. I felt like I failed. I felt so guilty. See, after what I did, he told me that he tried it a few months before me, but he told me to keep it a secret, and I did. He even went into detail, told me everything. Then a couple months later, he told me he lied about it, that he was just trying to make me feel better and let me know I wasn't alone. I didn't know the truth. I still don't. But we pinky promised that day that we were going to get through this together and not take our own lives. I kept my promise, you guys. I sure wish he would have. I made up this quote. It says, "It's not a choice, it's that little dark voice." I can relate. I hear this dark voice often, but now I call it out. I tell it it's not going to overpower me. I'm not going to believe those lies, because on my good days, I really think highly of myself. I tell it it's not welcome. I tell it to leave me. Sometimes I have to do this daily. I'm here for a reason, and I'm not going anywhere on my own. I'm going to be a part of ending this stigma. Thank you. Thank you. About a year after my dad's death, after feeling like a zombie floating through my days, I finally signed up for some classes: anger management, depression classes, mind, body, spirit classes. I started to see some light. Then I got a phone call, August 2016. One of my friends that I met in recovery ended her life. I thought the worst was behind me. Then that next month, September 2016, I'm signing up my people for the Out of the Darkness swap. My team's called You Rock Ross for my dad. Thank you, thank you. I was going to call up my best friend, Rebecca, tell her that I was going to sign her up, but she was struggling, and I didn't want her to tell me no. So I just signed her up. She was my go-to after my dad died. She was the person I could relate to the most. I sure wish I would have reached out to her that night, because that next morning, she ended her life. Losing her set me back to square one. She was like the sister I never had. I was devastated. This time, I took real action. I'm now certified for mental health first aid. I'm certified, thank you. I'm certified in Safe Talk, which is suicide alertness for everyone. I joined the Out of the Darkness Walk Committee, And I'm up here speaking with you guys. I mean, come on now.
Yay!
Right? I'm refusing to let this happen again. I'm going to involve myself with anything and everything that AFSP, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, has to offer. I want to encourage you guys to do the same. Get involved with this organization. It really helps. Help end the stigma. Make the change. Be the voice. Break the silence. Share your story. Imagine how many people you can inspire. You never know who's struggling. When you share, you'll inspire. When you inspire, you're creating awareness. When you create awareness, you prevent. Talking about it takes the power out of it. Don't forget to sign up for this year's walk in October. You could go to afsp.org. So I'd be lying if I told you that I was healed from all this tragedy, all this pain, all this depression, that I don't hear the dark voice anymore. But I'm not the one to sugarcoat. This situation affects me to the core. It's like a never-ending roller coaster. Some days, I could throw my arms up and scream, whee! Other days, I want to find that emergency button that will completely stop this ride. This is a fall to your knees type of heartache, you guys. If you're struggling, reach out. There's a National Suicide Prevention Lifeline that you can call 24/7. It's real. I just reached out. I shared my struggles, and I felt better. The number, well, we could get it later, but I'm going to tell you now. It's 1-800-273-8255. Or you could even text HOME to 741-741. If you know someone who is struggling, help them. Be the ear. One of my favorite quotes that my dad would always tell me is, we're not put on this earth to see through one another, but to see one another through. So try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud. Reaching out doesn't mean that you're weak. It actually shows your strength. The right words at the right time in the right place can save someone's life. Did you know our words are like seeds that when spoken, they are sown into our souls? You don't have to receive every word, nor do you have to retain every word received. But if you receive and retain, these words will reproduce. So make sure you speak words of life and light over others, and that includes yourself. And remember, nothing happens suddenly, but what you do daily. If you didn't get anything from this speech tonight, please go home with this. Suicide does not end the pain. It just passes it along to someone else. So with that being said, if there's anything I could do for you, if you have any questions, if you need prayer, if you just need more, come talk to me. Come talk to my people. They're all back there out here supporting me. It's like half of the people out here is my people. Okay? I'm like H&R Block. I got people. Get it? It's tax day. I hope you guys filed. But on a real note, I got my powerful prayer warriors out here. If you guys need to pray, if you need to reach out, talk to me. I'm here for you guys. I know sometimes the hardest step is reaching out, but that's the point of this, right? We have to end the stigma. Thank you for listening. Don't text and drive. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and text either. That's never a good idea. Remember, some people just want to be heard. You rock, you guys. Have a blessed night.
Woo! Yeah, Tara, you rock! Yes! That's my best friend.